Breaking news, a 12-year-old shot and killed in gang-related shooting in Knoxville, hours after a Stop the Violence event. Tonight we talk with the boy's father and police about a second tragedy for the same family. We're also following breaking news in Sevier County. A brush fire burning and homes are being evacuated. What's being done to contain it and what investigators know at this point. And the Smoky Mountain Air Show comes to a close with thousands turning out for the two-day event. When you can see all of the highlights in a one-hour special right here on WBIR.
10 News is brought to you in high definition exclusively by Harper Auto Square. You are watching WBIR TV Channel 10 Knoxville. The news starts now.
Tragedy in Knoxville tonight as gang violence takes the life of a 12-year-old boy.
And this is a second innocent young person in our community that has had their life ended by senseless violence.
Juwan Latham, a student at Bearden Middle, a basketball player and a cousin to Xavion Dobson. Now two young lives in the same family cut short.
He's a very nice guy, nice family.
How the community is moving forward.
And try our best to bring love where there's so much hatred.
And what law enforcement is doing to end the violence.
This has got to end.
Good evening and thanks for watching. I'm Kendall Morris. Another heartbreak for a Knoxville family. Now the search is on for the person who shot and killed 12-year-old Juwan Latham. Police say he was shot in the head while in an SUV with his father. Latham was the cousin of Xavion Dobson, who was killed while shielding friends from a gang-related shooting back in December. The shooting happened on Moses Avenue near Danny Mayfield Park around 9:45 last night. Both Juwan and his father had just been to a basketball tournament in honor of Juwan's cousin, Xavion Dobson. We're joined now by WBIR 10 News reporter Brittany Bade. And Brittany, you just spoke with his father,
who's understandably still very in shock. And the night Hubert Latham and he spent with his son on Saturday began as a father-son bonding night. And Hubert says they were both
You know, we had a good time. He got to meet Allen Iverson. You know, he got to meet Bobby Mays and a couple other guys that played for UT.
Hubert Latham took his son, Juwan Latham, to the Bobby Mays celebrity basketball game on Saturday night. The game honored Juwan's cousin, Xavion Dobson, who he saw as an idol. The two shared a love of sports.
Well, he's a good person, man. He really liked to smile. He smiled a lot, you know, play games. No, like basketball.
Latham and his son went to the Mechanicsville neighborhood to pick up friends before heading to the movies. But it's there that a 3-minute pit stop changed his life.
All I heard was gunshots. I looked in the back to make sure my son was okay, and I realized he wasn't moving or saying nothing, so I picked him up. And I seen blood, and all I did was I rushed him to UT Hospital.
Doctors told Latham a high-risk surgery was needed to save his son.
Can you please save my son? He just had a death in the family, the same way. Can you please just save him for me?
Juwan passed away in surgery, leaving his family heartbroken and looking for answers.
I'm just wishing for justice. It's the best thing. That's what I want for my son.
The Lathams are turning to their faith during this unimaginable time and are asking the community for help to make sure this senseless violence doesn't tear apart another family.
Stop the violence, man. I lost someone. Ain't no coming back.
Hubert Latham says his son's death was completely avoidable. He doesn't know who pulled the trigger or why, but is asking anyone who was there that night to report any information they may have to the Knoxville Police Department. Kendall, obviously a very shocking situation for the entire community, and our hearts definitely go out to the family of that young man.
Definitely a tragic day here in Knoxville. Thanks, Brittany. Now to the emotional and powerful response from the Knoxville Police Department and the mayor. For that, we turn to WBIR 10 News reporter Rashad Hardnett with a plea from Knoxville's police chief. Rashad?
Kendall, it was a very emotional day for the community after learning about 12-year-old Juwan Latham. 12 people stood to address the media today, including Police Chief David Roush and Mayor Madeline Rajero, all saying there needs to be a community effort to stop the violence.
This has got to end.
It's another blow to an already grieving community. Police say 12-year-old Juwan Latham was a cousin to Xavion Dobson, who died shielding friends from gang-related gunfire. Now, he's the latest victim in an ongoing gang violence problem.
It's you know, my gang's better than your gang. None of that makes sense to me. They're cowards. It's absolutely a coward. A coward shoots blindly at a crowd.
KPD says the shooting happened at a block party near Danny Mayfield Park with about 200 people Saturday night. It's not clear what led up to it or who shot first, but investigators say gunfire erupted between partygoers and the drivers of two cars. They're still actively looking for those suspects, but caught in the crossfire, 12-year-old Latham.
Love your children. You know, you don't know when they're going to be gone.
KPD says he was innocently sitting in the back of his father's car after riding home from a basketball game when he was shot in the head. With few leads and so much grief just 4 months after Latham's own cousin died shielding friends in another gang-related shooting, city leaders are searching for solutions.
Preventing violence by giving children, young men and boys of color, opportunities for success. Obviously, it's not easy. You know, there are still too many people that we haven't reached, too many people that are still in that life.
For now, it's about reaching out to a heartbroken family and reassuring them the suspects will be held accountable.
I can make it very clear that we're going after them. We're coming after. If you're a member of a gang, we're coming after you.
And police say they are increasing their patrols. They do have some leads, but they still don't know exactly who fired those shots. So they're asking anyone with any information at all to call the Knoxville Police Department. Kendall?
Thanks for that report, Shad. Well, as we mentioned, Juwan's death comes at a time when a community is still recovering from the death of his cousin, Xavion Dobson. We spoke with community leaders who knew the families of both Juwan and Xavion and say this second tragedy comes with feelings of both anger and sadness.
And this was another good guy, innocent guy in the community that this happened to, that became a victim of these circumstances.
12-year-old Juwan Latham, an innocent bystander in what police are calling a senseless act of violence. Police say the Bearden middle schooler went to the Bobby Mays celebrity basketball game last night, a benefit for the family of Xavion Dobson, Latham's cousin who was shot shielding friends from gunfire in December.
He's a very nice guy, nice family, so it's not like this was a negative guy in the community.
Soon after the game, police lights would surround Danny Mayfield Park, where Latham was shot sitting in the back of his dad's SUV, a shooting that is now shaking the community.
When I heard about it, I was just sad and just cried, just disheartening. My heart is fractured, and I think our community is fractured over it.
Already, there's an outpouring of messages on social media showing the heartbreak of a community dealing with yet another loss.
When a family is going through such a time as this, all you can do is, number one, we pray for that family.
And try our best to bring love where there's so much hatred.
Our coverage continues online right now, where we have the entire news conference from today. There you will also find a full list of organizations in our area to help young people. You can head to our website, WBIR.com, for all of that information. And we will continue to follow this story on our website and right here on Channel 10. Tomorrow morning, grief counselors will be at Bearden Middle School to help all of those students. Now to breaking news out of Sevier County. Flames have destroyed 5 cabins and spread to the woods off Memory Way in Sevierville. Evacuations are underway as crews work to get fire under control. Now we want to show you, this is the area where the fire started. It's in the Bluff Mountain area that's near Bluff Mountain Road. WBIR 10 News reporter Aaron Wright joins us live with how large this fire has grown and the intense effort to stop it. Aaron?
Kendall, good evening. You can see the fire off in the distance behind me. Multiple agencies have been working here throughout the day since early this afternoon once the call for that fire came in. I'm joined now by Perrin Anderson, spokesman for Sevier County. Mr. Anderson, can you tell us a little bit, especially these numbers and how much area has been affected by this fire?
Sure. Approximately 1:50 this afternoon, there was a report of a structure fire. At this time, it's more than 40 acres have burned. 5 structures have completely burned. Numerous others have been affected. There have been evacuations of a number of structures up there. I don't know how many people at this time, but luckily no injuries so far.
And can you talk a little bit about what it takes just to coordinate all these teams together and the effort to get these people safely out of this fire area?
Well, as you said earlier, we've had multiple agencies respond. We had a U.S. Forestry Service tanker help. We've got helicopters dropping water now. Across the county, some out-of-county agencies have also responded. We've done a wonderful job. I understand the cabin companies are helping those affected by the fire. Some of these are rental cabins, finding places for them. So it's been a great effort. Again, no injuries so far, no loss of life.
All right, and at least a little bit of good news today. Mr. Anderson, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, Kendall, certainly we're going to be here through the evening to keep you updated on this fire. Reporting in Sevier County, Aaron Wright, back to you.
All right, thanks for your reporting, Aaron. Now, we will continue to update you on this fire on WBIR.com and also, as Aaron said, on the Night Beat at 11. Now, we're also following developing news out of Harriman. One person died in an overnight fire. Harriman Fire Department says a fire sparked in an apartment building. Reports on social media show 11 families are without homes now. Officials say the apartment building was destroyed. We have a crew on the way to that scene, and we'll bring you that tonight on the Night Beat. Still to come on 10 News at 6. After 16 years, Smoky Mountain Air Show returned to our area. Just how many people turned out to see aerial acrobatics and how you can see highlights if you missed any of that action. Plus, it's been a beautiful weekend in Knoxville, but will the sun and high temperatures continue into next week? Rebecca Liebach has a check of your forecast when we come back.